Hey everybody, welcome back to Casks-n-Que, where whiskey and barbecue meet. I'm your host, Justin Lloyd, and today it's what I call the Midnight Burger. Alright, so we're back at the cutting board. This is a really simple recipe. It just calls for 80-20 ground chuck. So we're going to mix this up. You don't want to mix it too much. You want it to be kind of pliable and have some air in between the grains of beef. So we're just going to take an estimate here. That's about right. Some of you may be asking, why is this called the Midnight Burger? Well, there's a good story behind it. Not so much for me, but for my buddies. See, one night I was supposed to make burgers for the family, and I may have had a few libations before dinner and with some friends at a restaurant, and I didn't quite make it home in time for the burgers. So thus the term, the Midnight Burger. I would advise to make sure that you're home to make dinner for your family when your wife is expecting you. It turns out better for you in the end. All right, so there's our second patty. I didn't measure this, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I've eaten enough burgers in my life, as you can tell by my waistline, that I probably know what I'm talking about. So these patties will go on the smoker today. We're running on the Blaze Kamado, and we are using cherry wood for our smoke, and we're going to use Holy Cow barbecue rub by Meat Church. It's one of my favorites here lately, especially for beef. We got our pit up to about 250 degrees. And these will take about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, to get the smoke that I want and to get the internal temp that I want. Then after that, we're going to move it over to the griddle, to the flat top. We're going to sear it. But before that, we're going to saute some onions. We're going to cook some bacon. It's going to be great. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit this with Holy Cow Meat Church. And I like to go pretty heavy on it because the flavor is just great. Why is the skin always so hard to remove from an onion? Let me know in the comments below. What am I doing wrong? Probably a lot. That's all right. It's all a learning process. All right, so we're gonna want some nice large slices. Pretty. Pretty. I chose a red onion because I like a little bit of kick. There's not one onion that I prefer over the other, but for this particular recipe, I feel like it needed a little something extra. I'm gonna just cut these up in little slivers. All right, guys, so we're over here at the flat top, and I don't know about you, but I believe a midnight burger deserves bacon. It makes everything better. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and build our burger. We're gonna get a base layer down of that spicy mayo with meat church barbecue rub and sriracha sauce mixed in. We're gonna get an onion and some jalapenos. And we're going in with a big slice of Gouda cheese on this burger. And you might as well go ahead and throw some bacon on top of that. It's crispy and delicious. And I think it's a double burger kind of day. And I think it's a double bacon kind of day. And then we'll go ahead and top it back off with that spicy mayo. I think I said mustard earlier. I meant mayo. All right, guys. So there she is, plated up in all her glory. That is my version of a midnight burger. So the next time you're out with your buddies, make sure you go home in time to cook, because you could end up with something delicious just like this. After a good smoky burger like we just had, I think that Maker's Mark Private Select is a great finishing whiskey. Big fruit, big vanilla, lots of oak, but not overpowering, just to the point where it's refined. This one doesn't have an alcohol burn much at all. No Kentucky Hug to really speak of. Let's go ahead and have a taste. That's really nice. It's funny, I used to not be a big fan of Maker's Mark, because I only had the 46 and a few of the other lesser known, or a few of the other less expensive makers. And I always thought it tasted like, I don't know, like some sort of chemical or something. But once I'd toured Maker's Mark Distillery, my dad and I were able to sample some Private Select and some Cask Strength Maker's Mark, which really changed my mind about that particular bourbon. I think it's a great bourbon, historical distillery. And it's just a classic bourbon for any type of occasion. You can't go wrong with Maker's Mark Private Select. Hey, once again, thanks for joining us at Casks-n-Que, where whiskey and barbecue meet. I had a lot of fun filming this episode today. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, then go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. I'd love to hear back from you. Remember, all opinions are welcome.